Yo, what's going on? Today I want to talk to you about yeah, let's talk about DPS. I've noticed I've been tanking a lot lately, and when I create lobbies and I get DPS in there, I have a lot of people signing up with 200 con as DPS, 150 con as DPS, even 300 con as DPS. And I was like, you know what? I need to make a video. I don't know how many people will see it, but this is how you should start off DPSing. I am actually running barnacles. So what you want to do is make sure you have Lost Ward pots, Angry Earth Ward pots for the final boss, and Lost Ward infused coatings and Angry Earth infused coatings. Also honing stones. I use the Desert Sunrise that you saw me click over earlier to reduce the dot damage, and banana pudding or banana bread to get the 48 strength or 48 dex, whatever floats your boat. As you can see, my gear is nothing special. Also, whatever the mutation is, you want to bring in a certain amount of gems into that, because people always forget. I usually keep 5 or 10 gems in there just to give out to people in case they forgot. See my weapons there with the bleeding sweep. The rogue is super nasty. Get like 1100, you know, up to 1500 bleed with that combo. The great axe, you just want to make sure you have enfeebling maelstrom. If you can have vicious on there, that's a bonus. The refreshing move doesn't matter because I don't really swing it. In this mutation, the enemies will, once you kill them, they drop down a healing circle. So you want to make sure you have the throw up to reduce their amount of healing. And here's the attributes I want you to start off with. Now, I always recommend the DPS that I talk to start off at 100 con. All right, and then you can work your way down once you learn more of the mechanics. You go to the 100 con, the 25 int, because the 25 int will get you extra backstab and critical hit damage, 5%, and then 350 dex and whatever it was on the strength. But I want you to start off with a spear and great axe, because that is the easiest thing to get accepted into a dungeon with, and it's a really good base weapon to start off learning. Also, it's the second highest DPS weapon in the game, I believe, still. First being rapier. So it's a really good thing to start off with. Get you a great axe with enfeebling maelstrom so you can weaken the enemies 27% for, I think it's 8 seconds. Grab well so you can group up together, and reap so that way you can pull enemies into the fold. Now sometimes it might pull them really strong, sometimes it might barely pull them, and sometimes it might not pull them at all if they have grit, which is when they light up white around them. Also, make sure your trophies are slotted. So if you have the major lost combat trophies, major angry earth combat trophies, or the basics, whichever, those are fine too. I have the ultimate combat trophies because I have no life. But yeah, they are all up and good to go. Don't forget to pick up your barnacles mission at the bottom so you get a gypsum ore when you complete it, and your faction missions. So we're gonna start off here, and I did put this in a little fast forward mode on this first part. It's pretty basic. Group them up, kill them, talk to the person, hit the lever to open the gate. Now a lot of DPS, when the tank starts running past the enemies, they want to hit the enemies. Let me adjust my mic here. It keeps falling down. Oh, that's the mic. That ain't me, man. And just keep an eye on where you are. I know the guy's behind me. If he swings at a higher mutation level and it hits me in the back, you know, he's gonna just destroy me from the back. So I just wait a minute. Oh shit. But yeah, we get through this part, come through the next part. DPS needs to focus shaman. Tank doesn't need to run to the shaman like he does here, DPS, because that's gonna pull the group of enemies, and really the DPS don't need to get hit by all those. He did do a great job though pulling off so the enemies went to the left. But usually it's best just to stay by the big guy, let the DPS go to the shaman. We should have enough crowd control or CC to deal with them on our own. And then you take this guy out and you're gonna go through the gates. If somebody can actually shoot. Oh, they got it in one shot. Be surprised how many times you gotta you sit there while people are shooting at it 10 times before it gets done. Don't do that in a M3. Let the tank go first and make them explode. Also, this part right here, most 99% of groups you run with are gonna go straight past the enemies here, the skip, because you don't need these mobs. But if someone gets down, you can't go back. A lot of times you're not gonna be able to go back and get them. You're just they're gonna have to make it through on their own. A couple of groups do this differently. These guys stayed by the alligators, which is real dangerous for the DPS. We'd like to go to the archers right here that throw this stuff, because in an M3 they're just going to one-shot all the DPS. They are super dangerous, so the tank should be holding the alligators while the DPS is on this guy. And the other one, where is he? Oh, there he is, glowing in the background over there. So the first one I took out was the more dangerous one. The second one, not so much, but don't do what I did here. Going out there first, Chompy greets me, but these bombers and that nature, I got stuck. Don't have purifying toast to drink a regenerative potion to get out of it. Bada boom, bada freaking bing. Bebop goes down for the count. You suck. Oh. All right, give me up, baby. Let me get back at it. Chompy over here. I call him Chompy. It's Chomper, but you know where the next part is. After you kill that one, you want to come over here, great axe, spin them up, mow them down. And this guy has a big slam, so when he turns all white, he has grit and he does more damage, and so you want to make sure you dodge his slam, or else it will one-shot you. Some tanks will take all these bombers straight up so that they blow up and kill some of the enemies for them. Most people are going to do what we just did right there and grab axe them, gravity well them. Always see if the tank's going to drag that first ghost into this guy into the third ghost. Some tanks will just bring them all together. Some tanks will do one by one. And this part, DPS needs to always stay back. They all run up there, but those bombs will destroy in a higher mutations. I saw the other one was low health, so I came over here to this one to start working on it while they finish up. I see it's very low health, about to die. I'm going to get this loud platinum vein. And there's a key right there that we passed, that little box on the ledge that you want to make sure you grab. Nobody grabbed it, and so they had to go back here shortly, and you'll see a cut. Right there, gravity axe them, grab well them. I don't know why I say gravity axe so much. Mow them down. Now this part's coming up is tricky. I like to pull this guy all the way to where we were just fighting. But if you do come up, all DPS need to be on this guy focusing on him. I don't know what they're doing going in front, but they don't need to do that. If you stay to the far right, you will not spawn this ghost. You don't need the ghost. It's just inexperienced crews that pull the ghost. So if you can get all the enemies to the right, kill them, or bring them down here and then kill them, you don't even have to deal with the ghost. That ghost, when it does its lightning damage, hits hard as hell in the M3s, so it's best to avoid when you don't need to fight it, because the lightning damage is what these shamans and enemies throw, and that stuff you don't have any protection for, so it's a one-shot a lot of times. And it doesn't matter if you're a 100 con or not. If you're an M3, it's gonna one-shot you. And this is just an M1, so it's very simple. I just kind of wanted to show you my thought process on doing this. I notice I'm in a bad spot here, kind of face fronting where the tank was. Don't want to do that. You got to get behind, especially if you got rogue. You're not going to get your bonus damage in the front. So always look where your tank is, and playing with random crews, the tanks will move a lot, or they'll go in spots maybe you're not used to, and you're kind of just going through the motions. Next thing you know, you're right next to the tank, and you're taking brunt of the damage, and boom, you go down. So I notice he's to the left. That grit motion right there, you want to dodge. Right here, you want to roll and don't get hit by that like I just did. I would still say DPS needs to take out the grenader first. I wasn't thinking about that right here, and that's my bad. When you're done killing them, someone's gonna go get the cannonball. I like to get out of the combat area, throw on my fire damage amulet, because this boss, you know, has a lot of fire on the ground and then drops those grenades on you, so, or cannonballs that explode. And when the balls fall all over you, it does a lot of damage. I think it's strike damage, so you know, you gotta watch out for that, or you go face first into the ground. The Magnum Gold. It's a very simple boss fight. After you do some damage, he's gonna go up there, spawn 3 rounds of this, and the first 2 are just a single wave of fire, very easy to dodge. I like to fan out, so after you get through the wave of fire, look and see where your teammates are. If they're to the far left, you go to the right. If they're to the right, you go to the left. Everybody should have a little zone, so that way the cannonball, if it spawns in front of you, you can easily grab it and get back to one of the cannonballs and shoot it. When he jumps down here, he's invincible for a few seconds. Wait for that to go before you spam your abilities, and then you can let him have it. And if this is going a little bit too fast for you, you can always slow down the video to 0.75 or 0.5 speed. I just don't want to make a long video and waste people's time, you know? This is the second wave, still 1 line going across each time. I like to try to get a screenshot of that with all the blasts, because that looks pretty dope. I tried during this. I don't know if you see the thumbnail and that's what it is. This was the Pat, baby. Alright, he's taking damage. I'm gonna weaken him with Maelstrom, Perforate. A Magnum Gold. Alright, this is a 2-wave, so you need to find the angle to get across both of them and do it safely. And watch when you're taking the cannonball to the cannon, because in M3, a lot of times when you're over there and you get on to shoot, you might be taking damage while you're walking over there with the ball and while you're gone trying to shoot it. And if the healer don't catch that, you'll get fried real fast, especially if you don't put a fire amulet on. Don't forget to put your nature amulet back on after that. If you roll through the gold right here, it's better than jumping, it's quicker. If you're medium or heavy, obviously you're not going to be able to do that. I was trying to wait for that other 3rd ghost to come over here, but it comes late, so then you gotta keep an eye on where it's swinging at, try to get behind, or else you'll just get hit real hard in the front and roll it over. Each crew you run with is going to do this a certain way. Just let the tank go. Don't get overexcited and start hitting just because you see enemies spawn. Real easy to do that right here, but you gotta wait. He's, you know, coming up here. I'm dissecting the situation. I see what it is. Bradwell didn't pull that 3rd or 4th ghost in, but that's okay. Alright, here we go. I should have saved the grab well for this. This part's way more dangerous. But it's a 1, so it's not that bad. If you don't kill that guy fast enough, he will explode. He does hella damage. Alright, this next part, I always like to wait for the tank to go in. The very back guy, depending on where the tank goes, will charge forward, so wait while I try to reap there on a situation I know I shouldn't have. And as these get lower health, I'm gonna break off early, just like this other person behind me was thinking. Get this going, so we can get the lightning balls going. Now the best way to do this is not to get fully in the water like the tank just did right there. It doesn't matter, but it's a little bit quicker if you just stand right where I was, hop on out, and hopping gets you a little bit better movement speed. Right here, I usually like to put on an Angry Earth coating just to get ready for the final boss fight, but I couldn't find them because I got too much stuff on me. So we're just going through. These guys are real big to do stamina damage on, especially in the M3s. So if you have a great sword, that's really a great way to do it. A hammer does really good stamina damage, but if you're not spec'd into it, don't waste your time because you're not going to be doing any damage. But the great sword and the tank, they should be doing heavies non-stop on that, busting stamina damage. Since it's an M1, we kill it before we can stun it. Oof, that dodge, baby. If you see that red bar around the enemy's health, like what you just saw in the tentacle right there, that means you have aggro. So that's how you know if you have aggro or not. If you do, be aware that it's going to be targeting you and you're going to need to dodge its attacks. Learn the mechanics and the attacks of those things, and then that will give you a better chance to survive them. You won't be as scared of them, and you just got to know the mechanics. Now, you're going to die plenty if you're new and you're just getting used to all this. It took me a long time to learn it, but even still, you know, I can get knocked, as you saw earlier, being stupid. So it happens. This boss fight, as you see in the middle, it's like a big cross with a circle in the middle. Those 45-degree angles between the cross lines is where you want to stand when she does this whirling whirlwind stuff. And you'll see me go there every time. If you just stand back and watch her, she first starts off with 3 areas she travels to, and then she goes to 4 once she spawns the first tornado, which is now. When she hunches over like that and goes in the middle, stay out, because that will draw you in and it will knock you. Tanks usually will try to tank this boss in the middle and not on the outsides. This tank kind of did the outsides, which is fine. But you just need to be aware of the tornadoes spinning around because they will grab you. Luckily, this mutation is nature, and all these attacks that you see are nature. So, well, the lightning on the ground is obviously lightning, so don't step in that. You can slot some Copperstein topazes in your gear to protect you some against the lightning if you want. Stand in that 45, wait for her to get done. Don't be in the middle when she's spinning around. Just stay back. Right here in the middle of the 45. See where the tank is. Do the perforate. Watch for her elbow backswing because that stuff hurts. If you don't have enough weaken on her, it will one-shot you. Now there are 2 tornadoes out. One is going to be closer to the middle of the ring and one is on the outer. So you see this one's coming closer to the middle. So if it comes closer, you roll through it. No big deal. Don't freak out. Don't be on the same side as the tank, babe. And that's about it. If you roll through it or dodge through it, if you're in medium, you'll be just fine. And that's basically where you want to start off. DPSing, spear, great axe. If you want me to do another set of weapons and show you how to do that, let me know in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.